Alright, what's going on, guys? Try back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing my, I guess, bi-weekly review for this week's issue of the Walking Dead comic book series. This week we got to see the release of the Walking Dead issue 143, which is called A Union. Okay, and spoiler warning for anyone who has not read The Walking Dead issue 143 yet, you're definitely going to want to go ahead and read it before you watch my review. So, man, what a great issue. This issue blew me away. This is an amazing issue. And lately with The Walking Dead, we've kind of had some, it's always good, right, obviously, but we've had some kind of slower parts, some people saying that they are, like I've read in the Q&As and that, not always feeling it, and sometimes feeling it's a little bit boring here and there when there isn't kind of that big survival or battle or, action type periods like All Out War Part 1 and Part 2. But you need the ups and downs, like I explained in that Q&A, I believe it was, in a series. If it's long running like that, you're going to have your climax, you're going to have kind of your war parts, and then you're going to have your kind of more relaxed, peaceful parts, and then build up to like up and down like a wave, right? That's just how it kind of has to be with a long running series that's been going for over 10 years, probably close to 11 years now, right? The Walking Dead comic book series, yeah, a long time, man. Been amazing. So issue 143, was really excited to read this one because I love the cover. I love how you have kind of that Carl and Lydia, they're holding hands, there, and they're just kind of, I guess just walking in tandem with each other, they're showing kind of their relationship and how they feel about each other. So this one really exciting. We get to see at the beginning we have Alpha, who was in the Alexandria Safe Zone, and as we find out now that the Whisperers have actually kind of moved closer to where the Alexandria Safe Zone is in terms of their location, and we have Rick, Dante, Andrea, and Michonne, who have gone to see if they can sort of rescue Carl. Now in this issue we find out that's basically, number one, it's not really possible, and number two, he doesn't want to leave anyway. So it's kind of one of those situations where he's where he wants to be, and Rick can't force him to come, can't force him to leave. And also, you have Alpha, who basically it's in her best interest to want to keep him there anyway. But let's just talk about the final splash page, and then we'll go back to some of the other stuff after, because the final page of this issue just blew me away. So Alpha basically shows Rick, hers, shows her shows him what she's got, and she brings him to this abandoned building, and he looks out, and he just sees a field of Whispers, a field of. Now, at first I was confused, and I did the math. I counted the zombie, or not the zombies, the Whispers, I should say. The length and the height, and I did the math, and I calculated somewhere over around 2,000. In terms of that just sea of Whispers that she showed him. Basically, she wanted to let him know she knows that he's the leader of the communities, and she wanted to show him what the Whispers have, what they have. And it is about, probably somewhere around 2,000 or more, because that's just the ones that are there. I'm sure there's lots that are in and around in other places or whatever. And as far as I could see, it's a little bit confusing because you don't know, are they zombies? Is that like a zombie army like we were going to see probably with the wolves in season 6? Is it like maybe the governor used, or is he going to walker bomb somebody? Is it a collection of zombies, or is it actually Whisperers? If you look at some of the mannerisms of the Whisperers in the issue, you can see that some of them are doing stuff like this. There's one guy, he's doing this, right? And there's another guy who's doing this, like this, like putting his arms out like this, like. Zombies don't do that. So my interpretation is those are all Whisperers. Those are not zombies. Because if they were zombies, they wouldn't do mannerisms. Zombies don't do that. They don't do mannerisms like this. They don't do stuff like this. They don't talk like this. They don't. You can just kind of tell by the way Charlie Adler draws each one that they're not, right, zombies. They're actually alive. They're speaking. They're whispering, so to speak. Which was cool. So the last page blew me away. The other thing that I thought was awesome about the issue is we don't know. This is a nice setup because we don't know who Alpha has killed. She comes back and she's got her machete and it's got blood all on it, fresh blood. and she asked one of her dudes to clean it for her, but we don't know whose blood it is, and Rick's like, what did you do? And there's no way for us to know right now until later on. So who has she killed? Was it Dante? Was it, I don't know, somebody else when she left Alexandria? Did, Earl or somebody kind of be like, who is that lady? And then they maybe tried to chase her or something, or who knows, or maybe when she went to leave, somebody tried to stop her and she had to actually, kill them or something. Hard to say. That's something we can do predictions on, but it could literally be anybody. I'd probably look at most likely being some random person, from the communities when she was leaving, or maybe Dante. Out of the people that came with Rick, I wouldn't see an off-screen or an off-page death for Michonne. I don't see an off-page death for Andrea, because if they kill Andrea off, that's a huge thing. That would be like an issue 100 thing or issue 200 thing. That wouldn't just be like a random off-page kill, I wouldn't think. So, I think it's probably somebody who doesn't mean that much. Dante's pretty cool, but yeah, I mean, even if they kill him now at this point, it's like, it's not the end of the world if he gets killed off, right? He's pretty new in that. And yeah, we kind of like the relationship between him and Maggie. And we'll have to see. Maybe that could be part of why Maggie gets angry when Rick and the others return. If Dante's been killed or something, maybe she will go nuts and attack Rick or something. I guess we'll see, because we did see that cover, so that maybe makes sense for that. But it could be anybody on the way between where Alpha was with Earl and Ezekiel there when she left, and when she got back. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. I can't really do too many predictions, but I'd say Dante's probably the most likely candidate for that at this time. Because they do know him, because he was in their captive before, and now he's brought these guys back. The Whisperers may not like that. So right now, I really like kind of the spot that they're in, because you've got the two leaders, right? You got Alpha, you've got Rick, and they have basically, Rick, of course, has Carl, the most important person in the world to him. Second would probably be Andrea and his son, Carl, of course. And Carl is with Lydia, Alpha's daughter, with the Whisperers. And then you have Rick, of course, who's the leader there, who he wants to make sure Carl's okay. So this is really interesting to see how this is gonna play out. That you have kind of the son and daughter of both leaders' union, right, going together. And how are the parents going to feel? Rick is kind of a control freak. We've seen that as part of a leader, of this huge community and all the way through. He wants Carl to leave right away. But at this point in time in the series, it's just, Rick, he doesn't even have his body, really. His body is not what it was. He can't really be somebody who's going to be fighting in the action and doing stuff like that. So, man, it really brings some great questions about what's going to come up in the future if we're going to see a war between the two. But you'd like to think if the Whisperers have more than 2,000 members, that many numbers, then it's probably, even if all of the people of Alexandria and everybody are armed with firearms, it still could be a bad situation. But that said, though, if the Whisperers don't have many guns, like Alpha, she carries a double-barrel shotgun, right? But everybody else there from the Whisperers, they don't seem like they have knives and stuff, but they don't seem like they have firearms at all. So, even though they do have 2,000 members, you could potentially see Rick and the United Communities winning due to their firepower if they all have firearms. Like if Eugene is able to mass produce, we don't know kind of where their ammunition stocks lie right now. But if they all had firearms, then even though there's probably only a few hundred of them versus a couple thousand, if you have, firearms, automatics and stuff versus just knives and butcher knives in the right environment, I could see Rick's group winning. But if it's in close quarters and the Whisperers are really pretty nasty and they'll take a few shots and still try to come at you, it could be exciting. So we'll see what happens with that. The rest of the issue, favorite parts, I love the Carl part where where he talks about his real father. He says, "This world is my father, and I've got its looks," and he's got the eye, because Rick, of course, almost right away asked him, why aren't you wearing your glasses, right? So, man, that was a pretty powerful line right there. I also liked when they're talking on the way there, and the random Whisperer walks out and says, he's like, "Your son is quite a handful," and he's just like normal. "Your son's quite the handful." He's got the thing on. Oh man, I just thought that was really, really funny. I don't know why, because it's just so like, random. Like here he is saying that his son's quite the handful. Then you see Carl, and he's like giving the business to one of the random whisperers. Where'd you go? You know, he's like yelling at her and everything, or yelling at that whisperer and everything, and just going nuts as usual. So Carl has become quite the fun character as The Walking Dead has gone through. Probably more like Negan and the Governor than he is like Rick, I would have to say at this point. So aside from that, we got to see a line with Ezekiel, and I think it was Pete. And, he talked about what to do with Michonne, go after this kind of thing. Michonne's with Rick and the others right now. Well, not Rick, but the others anyway right now as they're waiting for Rick. And I think that's pretty much all I want to say from this issue. Another great issue of The Walking Dead. I'm going to give this one a perfect 10 out of 10. I loved it all the way through. I love the cover, love the final page. It just kept me glued, and I really enjoyed it. It was just amazing. Let me know what you guys thought about it, and especially the final splash page, how many members you think the Whisperers have in total. I'd say over 2,000, probably maybe like 2,100 or something like that, maybe a few more. Pretty crazy. So, Carl being Carl. So that's awesome. So, he's so much better than the TV series version. It's not even funny. Let me know what you guys think about all that. And if you like the video, please thumb it up below. If you want to help support the channel, please share it. Please favorite it. If you want to check out the forums, we set up a official forum for the YouTube channel. It's deadreviews.com. Go there, deadreviews.com. Sign up for it, and we can talk about some cool stuff in the forums. I'm going to be there too. I'm going to be discussing with you guys, and joining some different discussion topics and stuff, starting up the conversation. Cool. So if you're new and you want to subscribe, you can go ahead and subscribe at the bottom left. That's it for this issue. I'll see you guys for 144 when it releases, and I'll see you guys then. As always, it's Trev saying peace.